Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in. I'm the Almighty Bob, and today you're watching Let's Play Spiderbot for the Commodore 64. Spiderbot was originally released in 1986 in Europe by a company called Addictive Games. It was later brought over to the US by Epix as a part of their Maxed Out series, along with games such as Rad Warrior, Coil Cop, and Boulder Dash Construction Kit. It starts off by letting you pick whether you want to play the full game or the short game. The full game gives you the entire game experience, whereas the short game starts you off with all the pieces of the Spiderbot, as well as one of each animal. There's also a time limit difference between the two. The full game lasts for 30 minutes and the short game for 20 minutes. I want to show you the entire thing, so we're going to select full. So here we are in the middle of a futuristic forest. We got to collect animals to help us find the three pieces of the Spiderbot. The only thing we have to use is a net launcher, which for the most part is going to be impossible to aim. You can only shoot the net at two different angles, low and high. The net will keep going until you release the fire button, and then it will drop down until it hits the ground. What makes it so annoying with the net launcher is that most of the animals have very small hitboxes, so you could be sitting there for a good 5 or 10 minutes trying to capture one animal. The two animals we saw in this room are the only two that are really useful throughout most of the game. The brown bugs are diggers. They'll let you dig through any brown dirt walls that you find. Using one of the green bugs will allow the spider droid to execute a super jump, which goes up about 3 or 4 screens. Now the flying manta, I'm not really sure why I spent so much time trying to capture it. According to the game book, it's supposed to draw a blind eye over the Citadel's sensor system and prevent the guards from coming out. But it's next to useless because the effect only lasts for about 2 or 3 seconds. By the time you've activated it and got into the next room, it's worn off and you're already under attack again. The flying electric jellyfish that you see here, which the game booklet calls the Man of War, is in fact the most useless animal in the game. They're very hard to catch. You can't actually catch one until you've assembled the full Spiderbot, because you have to zap them with the ray before you can drop the net on them. But furthermore, they have absolutely no use. In the game booklet it says it's supposed to be able to disable sensitive electronics from the Citadel, but there really isn't a single instance where you can actually use one of them, so capturing them is just essentially a waste of time. The little pink pig rabbit hopping creatures are called rock hoppers. They're only needed at one point in the game. We need to use it to open up the giant stone fist and get the orb that makes up the central part of the Spiderbot. Those guys are really annoying to catch because they seem to know exactly where the net's going to drop, and they'll usually run right out of the way. The location of the Spiderbot's legs are randomized every game. There's about 3 or 4 different spots that each one can pop up in. For the sake of this playthrough, I didn't scout out the locations ahead, so I'm going completely blind here. At this point there's only 2 ways we can go. We can use a digger insect to dig through the wall on the right, or we can use one of the green bugs to execute a super jump and go all the way up. To use one of the bugs, you have to crouch down with the spider droid, and with the robot fully visible on the screen, you hit the button that'll let you bring up your zoo. The main thing to remember about using one of the insects is to make sure that it's done doing its job before you fire a net. If you hit the button before it's done, it's going to leave the job half done, so you risk falling a couple of screens or having to pull out another bug to dig through a dirt wall. This is the big stone fist. This is where we're going to find the orb that makes up the central section of the Spiderbot. This part is very annoying. The hitbox for the chain is about the size of the hitbox for most of the other animals, so you need to be standing in exactly the right spot in order for your rock hopper to jump up and attach itself to the chain. And now we have 2/3 of the Spiderbot. At this point I just spent a lot of time wandering around trying to find that third part. So to save you guys a little bit of boredom, we're going to accelerate this to warp 7. Now that we've found the third leg, we can now transform into Spiderbot and make our way over to the Citadel. Transform into Spiderbot, it's just like using one of the insects. You hold down and hit the button, then you select the little Spiderbot picture, and it transforms. Spiderbot allows you to climb over the ceilings as well as the floors. The problem is because Spiderbot has a much wider stance than the Spider Droid, it's a lot easier to just miss one of the solid platforms and fall straight through to whoever is on the other side of the screen. Now the Spiderbot takes its energy from the Spider Droid's pool. It's never going to have full energy. We're going to need a lot of energy just to make it through a couple parts of the Citadel. And since the Spider Droid can regenerate, we're just going to sit here for a little while and regenerate till we're back at full health.